So, welcome everybody to This is a Shoot Podcast Saturday edition. So, normally I don't do the Smackdown videos because I don't usually have enough time within my day, but today I've got some time. And as always, if you like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so you always get the fire when I be dropping it. It notifies you and it's absolutely free. And feel free to leave comments down below. First and foremost, congratulations to the new women's tag team champions in Natalya and Tamina. That old saying that it could have happened to a better person, well, that goes true for Tamina. Last night, she won her first ever WWE championship in the women's tag team championship title belts with the help of Natalya. You want to talk about a moment of bringing prestige to a belt that has not had any prestige to it in quite some time. It has not a knock on Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. It's just the WWE hasn't been utilizing the women's tag team title belts on the main roster for quite some time now. A lot of people, including myself, consider the tag team division as a whole, and including the women's tag team division, as a joke, especially when you watch Monday Night Raw. Now, look, I don't understand why you can take Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, make them a joke on Raw. I don't take them serious on Raw. But when I see that they're on Smackdown, I know things that they're going to be handled a lot better. They're not being put in storylines that make you laugh at them. They are a serious tag team when they're on Smackdown, for whatever reason that may be. As far as I know, Smackdown has the same writers that Raw does, for the most part. It has the same creative mind behind it as Raw does, for the most part. But when they're on Monday Night Raw, they got Nia Jax slipping and falling and getting embarrassed by the likes of Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. And once again, it's not a shot at Mandy or Dana or any of the talent. It's the fact that for whatever reason, I am more invested in the characters of Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler when they was on SmackDown. And last night, I've been hoping that Tamina would get her opportunity. I was wishing for it at WrestleMania. It didn't happen. They got it last night on SmackDown. So it is a great thing. And just to see Tamina cry, and it was raw emotion, by the way, that Tamina was crying, and in her promo, I felt what she was saying. Them titles meant so much to her. It brought a prestige to the titles, where it leveled the title up. The title doesn't make Tamina. Tamina makes that title. And Natalya. Natalya's tasted gold in the WWE, so I'm focusing on Tamina because this is her first championship. Yes, she's had a shot last year against Bayley for the women's SmackDown title, but she didn't win it. And rightfully so at that time. So to see this, and Tamina's Indy and Natalya are both ending that home stretch in their careers. I don't know how much longer they have to be employed by WWE, or not retired, I should say. But focusing on SmackDown as a whole, SmackDown storylines, especially in the women's division, it just means, I don't know what it is, but it's like, if you want to be successful from a women's standpoint, you need to be on SmackDown. They handle the storylines better. They focus more on it, and I think that is because of the 2-hour show on SmackDown compared to the 3 hours on Raw, where Raw, it seems like they're just trying to get everything, just going through storyline, just so everybody gets a little bit of TV time. Watching Bianca Belair and Bayley's interaction, the believability is there. The investment for me is there. When I look at Rhea Ripley in the Charlotte and the Asuka match that's coming up at WrestleMania Backlash, look, I'm not invested in this match. We all know Asuka's not going to win, and most likely Rhea's not going to retain. The plan was at WrestleMania for Charlotte to win that title belt. Now, WWE has never came out and said that, but all the fingers point to that. Roman Reigns compared to Bobby Lashley. the Cesaro investment, man. I'm invested in Cesaro. I don't think he's going to beat Roman, but man, it's just like SmackDown just for what is the A show. That's the only way I can explain it to you guys. SmackDown is the A show in WWE behind, I would put it behind NXT. But if you're just looking at Raw and SmackDown, Raw is now the B show. SmackDown is now the A show. Now, if you do throw NXT in now, you gotta give it to NXT as the A show. They're getting better. They're getting more in the entertainment aspect, being on TV with the likes of Ted DiBiase and Cameron Grimes. But when you look at SmackDown compared to Raw, though, man, Raw's got to do something. I think they do need to slice down to 2 hours where you can focus, and it's gonna make the talent better because now they're gonna have to perform better to be put on live TV. Like I said, I don't understand why SmackDown's so much better. But it just shows. Every time I watch SmackDown, it just shows. Like when Monday Night Raw's on, I watch it and I look for things to stick out. A lot of times I'm like, it's Monday Night Raw. And it pains me to say that. Now, if you want to throw AEW in now, for me, it's NXT, SmackDown, AEW, and Raw. I'm not taking a shot at AEW when I do that. It's just my personal rankings. I know for a lot of people, AEW would probably be at the top of that list, and that's 100% understandable. Wrestling is this great and magical thing where it's, what is your preference? What do you prefer? And we're all human beings, and we all have a ranking. We all have things that we like. We're all different. So different things speak to different people. We're not all the same, and I thank God that we're not all the same, because if we was all the same, how boring would life be? So I know now, maybe for a lot of people, Raw's better. But for me, SmackDown, I don't understand. I just can't wrap my head around why SmackDown, being written by the same people, being controlled by the same people, it just has better storylines. It's more believable. The only thing I can imagine is, like I said, it is that 3-hour deficit. But SmackDown was a very solid show from top to finish. It started out with Roman Reigns. It went into the SmackDown Women's Tag Team match, which was a very exceptional match. And like I said, it's so believable, and I'm so happy to see Tamina and Natalya gain the championships, because I know it gets thrown out around a lot. At least it did before the pandemic, of you deserve it. If there was ever a time that a you deserve it chant would be in the WWE, it was at that moment when Natalya and Tamina, and for Tamina to pin Nia Jax. Nia Jax and Tamina are related, for those who maybe didn't know that. And Nia, for a long time, has been an advocate to put Tamina over, to get Tamina a championship, to give her that WrestleMania moment in which she deserved. Though this wasn't a WrestleMania moment, because it wasn't at WrestleMania, this was Tamina's WrestleMania moment. And I'm so excited and happy for her. And I'm really interested to see what they're going to do, because now, from a company perspective, now you have babyface champions. So now, who are you going to put against them? Who can you put against them? And I'm so happy to see it. Like I said, I don't know what it is, but SmackDown, man, they're hitting on all cylinders. And even when they're not firing all cylinders, if it was a V8, 7 cylinders are firing. No less. If they're not hitting on 8, they're hitting on 7. Raw, sometimes they're lucky to get one piston to fire. Now, Raw has been better here after WrestleMania. I can say that. But man, like the old video games used to be, SmackDown versus Raw, SmackDown out here layeth the smacketh down on Raw right now. I don't think SmackDown's on the level of NXT, but they're awfully close. And sometimes it varies week to week. It's more like a competition between SmackDown and NXT than it is SmackDown and Raw and NXT. So what did you guys think of SmackDown last night? What do you think of the new champions? Leave it in the comments below. Like I said, I hit you with the short and sweets because I don't want to waste your time. I know you guys got a busy day ahead of you. So thank you all for tuning in for This Is a Shoot podcast. And I'll catch you guys later on Tuesday.